Hey guys, it's me, Travis with PlayerProps.ai. We're back, baby. We had a pretty good week last week. So, what I did last week for our YouTube show content is I focused on the Thursday day of games. Was it on Tuesday, I think? And then Wednesday, I'm trying to remember. Monday was Thursday's day of games. Tuesday was Friday's day of games. Wednesday, we went and we flew to Philadelphia. And we went to the Friday UCF UCLA game. And it didn't turn out the way we wanted to, of course. I would love to have seen us upset UConn as well last night. But when your free throw makes 0 shots, and like this guy missed all 8 free throws, he was not like a 0% free throw shooter going into the game. He just had a career worst game at the worst time possible. And he also, you probably even seen a clip on SportsCenter Not Top 10 of he was going for a rebound and it bounced off of his hands into the basket for the opposing team. So he actually even scored more points for the opposing team than he did for us in regards to free throws. We had a very, very close game. The team had an insane amount of turnovers. We missed 10 free throws and we only lost by 4 points. So if we were just like a tad less sloppy, we'd have played UConn last night, and who knows what happened with that game. So very upset because we're not a blue blood. We're not a Duke, a UNC. We don't go to the March Madness every single year like these guys do, which hopefully this changes it. This is our first time in March Madness as a member of the Big 12, so we're hoping that this momentum carries forward. But it's still very upsetting that we have to wait an entire 365 days to see if that happens again. Anywho, you see I'm rocking the red here. We got the Guardian stuff going on because it is, ladies and gentlemen, MLB week. So your first question is like, oh, is this show MLB? No, it is not. The first game of the MLB season's on Wednesday. With MLB, the lineups are everything, even in regards to pitching, to the NRFI tool, everything. Lineups are very important. So what we're going to do for Monday, this show, is we're going to focus on what we did last week, but make it a little bit different. We're going to focus on the best team bets for the Sweet 16 games. And that's Thursday this week and Friday this week. So Monday, this show here, the best team bets for the Sweet 16. We had a profitable round one. I think I wrote them down here somewhere. So in Thursday's show, we didn't have any spreads that we like. We went St. Mary's money line that missed. We went Kennesaw State Gonzaga under 154.5 that hit. So we went 1-1 here. Friday's show, we had a little bit of everything. St. John's covered the spread. UCF covered the spread. Miami won their game. And then the only thing that missed was the Texas Tech and Akron under. So collectively speaking, we went 4-2, profitable round one. We didn't do any shows, of course, for the second round of games because we were in Philly watching some March Madness. So this show is going to focus on both Thursday and Friday games because I don't think if tomorrow we're going to focus on MLB, I don't know how many other shows are going to focus on college basketball besides the national championship after this because we're going to be doing so many MLB things, it's going to blow your mind. If you go right now to the app, we just re-added it. When you go to player, you see where it says predictor, which is the player prop predictor, but we re-added the tool. This was one of the most popular things we had last year. NRFI stands for no run first inning. Our users last year, all of our MLB bettors were like, hey, I really like that bet where you can bet that after the end of the first inning, neither team's going to have a run on the board. So it really comes down to defensive strength, pitching strength, pitching matchups, all that kind of stuff. So we built a tool around it. But if you click on it now, because there's literally we don't know the lineups yet, so the tool's not going to show anything. But when we have a projected roster for Wednesday officially, which I believe we will have tomorrow, then this will populate for Wednesday's game. But we're not there, so that's why we're focusing on the Sweet 16. Which teams are going to make their way to the Elite Eight? And yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Of course, this is not only is MLB happening this week, but we're finally here, baby. March 20. Make sure there's not a glare when I'm holding it up. There we go. March 28th. That is Saturday of this week. All of our VIP members who can make their way to Orlando, Florida are flocking, flying, running, driving, taking trains, taking boats, whatever means necessary to come to Orlando, Florida for the second annual Player Props party. If you're tuning in for the first time and you're not sure what the Player Props party is, or you still have yet to join Discord and win along with everybody else that's in Discord, which is essential to your success, so make sure you do that if you haven't yet. What I do is I rent out this entire space. So there's this, it's a sports bar this year, so we rent out this entire sports bar. I cover all the food, I cover all the drinks, we have fun. There's contests, a bunch of other things. There's a ton of March Madness we're going to be watching as well. And it's just a fun gathering of a thank you for helping us get to the point where we're the number one sports betting and education and research app on the planet. Here's my thank you. I'm covering all the food and drinks for you guys. And the date is specific. The reason why we chose Saturday or March 28th is because that's the actual anniversary of officially launching PlayerProps.ai, because it was on MLB opening day 2 years ago. And yeah, so we throw the party on anniversary date, 2nd year anniversary. If you are VIP and you're like, oh crap, I forgot about that, I can get to Orlando, it's in your best interest to shoot me a DM on Discord ASAP. There's like 2 tickets left. Shoot me a DM, and we'll try to squeeze you in there. But yeah, so let's find things for Sweet 16 team bets. Why not player props, Travis? Well, I told you in the last few shows I did that there's player props for colleges banned in many states because you have dumb friends who think it's funny to send threats to Instagram DMs of 18-year-old kids. And because your friends think that's funny and drop it in group text and ha ha ha, look what I told this guy because he missed by 1 point. Well, the government sees that stuff. The states, the sports books, they see that stuff, and that's why we can't have fun, because your friends are dumb. So yeah, let's find some team stuff we like for the Sweet 16. This is besides UCF losing, this is my most angry non-UCF thing. You know, from the March Madness selection show, the bracket show, I had Vanderbilt going far. They should have gone far. Nebraska got incredibly lucky in this game. If you watch the last 5 seconds of game time in this game, it's insane. So it's a tie game. I believe it's a tie game. And Nebraska goes, just has a basic pass towards a player running just straight down to where the hoop is. Nobody defending them. They just get this easy pass, and they just lob it up easily for a 2-point layup. And so now Nebraska's up by 2 points. I believe it was a 2-point margin of victory, and then puts Vandy in a spot where they have to go the full court and they have to score some points to not go home. This guy on Vandy lobs it up just maybe 4 feet behind half court. It actually goes in the hoop, spins in the rim, shoots back up. It would have been the best buzzer beater in college basketball history in the last 10 years. A crazy heave like that from beyond half court. I know we had a heave that Kentucky beating Santa Clara in the first round. Santa Clara shot a 3 with like 2.2 seconds left. Kentucky shot a 3 from just inside half court at the buzzer and made it, and went to overtime and beat them overtime, even though they lost in their second round game. So we've had some buzzer beaters. A official buzzer beater last night, but we've had some buzzer beaters or close to buzzer beaters, half court shots and whatnot. And the fact that the Vanderbilt one went in and then out was just so heartbreaking. Nebraska should not be this far. So the fact that Iowa also upset defending champions Florida. The fact that Nebraska is not only favored by the books, but by the AI makes me sick to my stomach. But all of these picks in the profitable 2 shows we had for you guys, that wasn't based on like gut or anything. We just used the tool. Like if the tool said, this is going to happen, and I don't care, and I prefer the other thing to happen, it doesn't matter. We take all personal bias out of our shows here. So that being said, this is the first wave Thursday Sweet 16 games there's 16 teams, which means there's 8 games, where winners of 8 games go to what is called the Elite 8. So if there are 8 games, there are 4 games on Thursday and 4 games on Friday. Out of the 4 games on Thursday, there's only 1 positive money line difference. And if you remember, we never, ever, ever bet when this number is red and negative. No touchy, the red negative stuff. So then when we see a positive, the next thing we have to look at is this a crazy odd? Like, is it like minus 500 or anything stupid? And if it's something that's within 200, then it's something we kind of really like. So Nebraska The AI likes Nebraska 3.74% more than the sportsbooks do. The sportsbooks give Nebraska a 57% chance of winning. Our AI gives them 61. I really, really, really don't want to see Nebraska in the Elite Eight. This is supposed to be Vanderbilt's time to shine. The fact that Iowa beat Florida made it extremely easy for Vandy to, I believe, verse Houston in the Elite Eight and for a chance to go to the Final Four, which is exactly how we drew it up on the show. So UF getting knocked out was perfect for this Vandy run. But because they couldn't guard this gosh dang freaking guard forward, whoever it was, streaming down the middle with a few seconds left for an easy layup, Nebraska is not only in the Sweet 16, but the AI says they're going to make the Elite Eight. I want to throw up in my mouth. Maybe it's the fact that I'm wearing red, that they're like, oh, hey, Nebraska's favored. I don't know. Maybe this is a sign. Me wearing the Cleveland Guardians red and Nebraska being favored here. Maybe this means Nebraska's going to win it all. Maybe that's what that means. Maybe it's a sign. What did Nebraska win at all odds? Because the worst thing that I would want to happen is for Nebraska to win it all. So now I'm curious. What are the odds of that happening? Let us find out. Let's go to champ odds here. Give me a second. Why is this not showing what I want it to show? National championship. Nebraska. Plus 6,500. It's a 6.5x. You put $10 on, you win. Oh, yeah, not a 6.5x, a 65x. So you put $10 on, you get $650. Maybe it's a sign. I'm wearing red. Nebraska's favored. Take it for what it is. I really hope that doesn't happen, but that probably would be the funniest thing in terms of the sport, the college basketball gods punching me in the face. So anyway, Nebraska minus 134 is something we can consider here. Can't consider anything else. Let's look at the spread real quick. So, of course, Nebraska favored. Minus 1.5 is favored by the spread as well. I don't really like spreads that are... This is the same thing with football and pretty much anything. Anything outside of... Well, I mean, NHL is always 1.5 and MLB is always almost 1.5. But typically within 3, I'd rather do the money line than run the risk of the team only winning by 1 and screwing the spread. So I'm not going to touch this one. I've mentioning that, so this number here, the 53.64%, that's the AI's projected chance of that team covering the spread. And I typically want to start at like 53 and higher. And when we go down to Purdue, it's only 51. So AI likes Purdue to cover, barely. This is 50, coin flip, 50. This is like almost as low as it gets, 50.08. So there's no real edges here. And if you've learned anything in our Discord and anything in the videos, we only bet on where we have edges. And that's why we win a lot more than we lose. Because if you lose a lot of bets, you're picking things where you don't have edges. You're just picking things to pick. And that's what we teach you, to stop doing that, to stop shooting yourself in the foot. So if you're tired of losing, you found the right place. That's what we do. We stop you from losing all your stuff. So I'm not going to touch this one because we're already looking at Nebraska money lines, a decent odd where you just can take it straight up. 51, I think, is a little too low here. They also, of a concern, look at Purdue's against the spread record. This year, they actually have a losing record covering the spread. Out of 36 games played, they've only covered the spread 16 times. They are currently 4 for 5. The last 3 games they've played, which includes the March Madness ones, they've covered the spread 3 times, but so has Texas, and Texas has a winning record against the spread. And because this is 51, you have to take in all the stuff you're seeing here, and this is just a know me likey. So nothing on the spread for Thursday's games. Let's go to the total. Oh, I kept referencing KenPom in the previous show. So you see here, when teams lose, they go white. So this is still pulled up and not refreshed from Friday's show. Now when we refresh it, watch all the salmon pink colors go away. Boom. So now these are the 16 teams that are left. So technically speaking, the worst 16 team that is left in terms of overall ranking is Texas. And then it's Iowa. And it's Arkansas, and of course you saw these ones at the top. So, Florida, Vandy. Gonzaga's had a pretty poop year. They've had 31-4, but they're just not been a good team. So, okay. right now, the only thing we have is Nebraska, 13th overall team, beating Iowa 22nd. Iowa's 25th best offense, 31st best defense, and we go to, where are they at? I lost them all over again. Nebraska has the 6th overall defense. So their defense is better than number 1 seed Florida, who's at the 7th best defense. And that's how they're in the Sweet 16. They play defense. Their offense is not anything amazing, but they do play defense. So now we try to see if there's anything we like with the spreads, with the totals. And if you remember anything I've taught you, we always pay attention to the AI difference. That is the most important part of any tool. The biggest difference, and this is sorted by difference. How do we know that? Because it says sort by difference. The biggest difference is 0.76, which is not a difference at all. So there is nothing for this that has a difference that's interesting. In games that involve Texas, the games out of the 32 games that involve Texas, more than half, 19 of them, have gone to cover the total line. 19-17 for Purdue. We don't care about going over, though, because this projection is going under anyway. But it's just that difference is not enough. We can go to the team tools. I'd like to see if there's like a difference of 2 or higher, but it looks like the only difference here is Iowa. Iowa's 14-12 on covering their line, almost break even. They're 4 out of the last 5. The line is 66.5. AI says they should just be getting 65. What is Nebraska's defense again? Didn't we just say they had an elite defense? Yeah, Nebraska's got the 6th best defense in the country. Iowa, I'm curious, do they have, so they're 66.5. Are they, $65.5 on some other books. So 66.5. Interesting. So they have outscored their line. Let me actually pull up the past games in this bracket of them here. I mean, they had to outscore their line to freaking beat Florida. So let me see. They scored 73 against Clemson. They only scored 67. Iowa against Iowa State, 69, 675. So yeah, like even when they win, I'm just going through like their entire past handful of games. They're just a low-scoring team. I think this one's okay. We don't like, so I'm not, in terms of, I would probably do less bankroll on this. I like Nebraska money line more than I like this under Iowa 66.5. But you don't have to bet everything the exact same amount. You don't be like, oh, this is a single play, so I bet, this amount. No, you can change it up. If you like something more, put more money on it. If you like something less, put less money on it. But it is interesting because they are going up against the 5th best defense in the country. And they just beat, or the 6th best, they just beat the 7th best. Who was their first matchup? Clemson? Where's Clemson at? Clemson had the 23rd best defense. So they barely beat Clemson. And they just put on an epic game to beat Florida. Barely. They won off of a last, I think they had a 3-pointer with 3 seconds left to beat Florida. So yeah. This one's interesting. I don't hate this one. So now that is the Thursday game. So now we're going to go to the Friday games. So let's go back to the Moneyline Predictor. Now we're going to skip over to the Friday Sweet 16 games. And we have 3 out of 4 have a green difference. 3 out of 4. So what do we do? What I just teach you. What do we do right after we see something that's green? We look at the actual line. We're not touching a minus 580. This one's ruled out. So we have a minus 111, and a minus 188. So there's 2 things that are green and don't have a awful odds. Connecticut favored to beat Michigan State. barely, minus 111. Iowa State barely squeaking by and beating Tennessee. I don't hate either of these money lines. These are pretty decent odds as well. And the fact that the AI likes them. So I know AI only likes Iowa State 0.72% more than the sportsbooks do. Likes Connecticut 2.39% more than the sportsbooks do. Let's just check DraftKings real quick. There's a horrible thing there. So it's kind of almost the same. FanDuel just has better odds. So we're going to pocket both of these. Don't hate these. I'm curious what the spread says. So it's the same thing where we aim for, like, if we can get like 53 here, but these are just so tight on projections. And also, I just mentioned I don't like spreads within 3, so I would go for the money line here anyway. This is right outside of 3, but I don't think the odds are bad enough just to take them straight up. And then we're in 50%. So yeah, no spreads. Team tools, team totals. All right, this can't be right. There is something wrong with the system that says this total is going to be 16 points under. Something's amiss here. Hold on. I have to check, so even though this projection may show a crazy difference, I don't 100% of the time rule it out as just a projection glitch. I actually look into it and see if it's, because remember, we're not betting on the total being 159. This is not what we're betting. We're just betting on the total being under 175.5. So I'm going to look into the system here and see if it's just trying to tell us, you want to look at this under. So let's just, while I'm pulling this up on my phone, let's look at these defensive and offensive rankings between Alabama and Michigan. Michigan has the second best defense. Alabama 60th, third best offense. So their defense sucks. Their offense is pretty good. I think they were dropping they dropped an insane amount of 3-pointers in their game yesterday. Crazy amount of threes. But Michigan don't play that game. Second best defense. They both have top 6 offenses, which is slightly alarming. 6th best offense in the nation, 3rd best offense in the nation. So this seems like it would be a high-scoring game, but the line makes up for that. These two teams are crazy high-scoring, so it gives them a 175 line. But the ASI is like, no. Yes, they have prolific offenses, but Michigan's defense is really good, and this should not hit a 175.5. So what I'm doing here is just check 1 or 2 things on my phone just to confirm that is. Give me a second. So we're looking at Michigan, Alabama on Friday. There's also a lot of NIT games going on and other conference things, but I just focus on this here. Projected total 159, yeah. Very interesting. Alabama. So as prolific as these offenses are, right? In 34 games played, Alabama has the teams in 34 games played, games that have involved Alabama have won or have hit their total line only 18 out of 34. Basically 500. Losing record here for games that involve Michigan. And then we go down, there's not really any difference. There's like a 1 difference here. So this is pretty interesting. This is crazy. We almost never see this. But again, this isn't AI saying bet on the total being 159 or under 160. It's just very, very strong on this not eclipsing any. This is the highest. Have we seen a total this high in March Madness so far? 175.5 is astronomically high. How do we know that? Go to the other ones. 135, 138, 142. This is insane. And the AI is saying, yes, this is insane. So let's look at the team stuff here real quick. It thinks Alabama's going to score 8.5 less. Since this is crazy sauce. Alabama's defense is not amazing. It's the 60th best defense, right? 60th best defense. So why would I wouldn't want to go Michigan under if their defense sucks. Michigan has the elite defense. So it would be Alabama going under 82.5. What's more likely to happen? Alabama going under 82.5. What is it on DraftKings? Same, 82.5. What is more likely to happen? Alabama going under 82.5. They're 14-13 on the season on covering their individual team score. They've won 3 out of the last 5 games. They've hit their line. But who did they verse? Get me out of here on my phone again. Friday, Bama. So to get here, they beat Texas Tech. What is Texas Tech's offense and defense? Texas Tech, where the crap are you? Here. 14th best offense, 35th best defense. Alabama put up 90. Then they beat Hofstra. Where was Hofstra at? I know Ben really liked Hofstra. They were up for a bit, battling them, but then they lost by 20 like a bunch of crazies. Hofstra's pretty far down here, right? Look how far down we gotta go. Where is Hofstra? I know I didn't pass them yet. When you are a small conference and you win your conference, I don't know, maybe I did pass them. You're typically very far down here. Why in the... There's no way they're this high. What am I missing? No, there's no way they're above Miami, Ohio. No. I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm just going to give up on finding them on this list. It was easier when they're highlighted pink, so you can see that because they are in the bracket. When they get eliminated and they're mixed with everybody that didn't make the bracket, it's just a little harder to find them. There's Howard looking for Hofstra. They just get like sent all the way down to Ken Palm Prison. There's no way. All right, screw it. You guys might have seen it in my scroll. I didn't. It doesn't matter. But it's also important to know that before, so Alabama, they would have been probably like a 2 seed if they won the SEC, but they lost to Ole Miss in the quarterfinals by a point. So that's what I was going to look at as well, is the first game they played before they got to March Madness. Is that something we're able to find by simply scrolling, or no? There's got to be a search feature here, right? Here we go. Let me just do this. Toledo. Maybe it's just under Mississippi. Yeah. Mississippi beat them with the 93rd best offense and 45th best defense. Let's find Hofstra now. I am blind. I literally said there's no way they're above Miami, Ohio, and they were literally the spot right above Miami, Ohio. They had 92nd best offense, 98th best defense. So, this, and let me look at Texas Tech one more time. Yeah. Michigan, far and away the most elite defense, at least the most elite defense that they have versed since, like everybody else would have to be in the SEC, right? So let's go here. Nope. No. Let's sort by defensive rating. I don't even know. They were annihilated by Florida, 100-77. What's the next SEC opponent? Kentucky. What do they do against Kentucky? They beat Kentucky 89-474. But Kentucky, they don't have an elite defense. It's 28th. So if we're only talking about decent defenses, Florida destroyed them. And then it comes down to Tennessee, 14th best. I mean, they lost to Tennessee. So, I mean, they're not expected to win this game. That's not what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out what's more likely to happen. Them not getting 82.5 points or the entire game going under. And I think because Michigan is the 6th best offense, first overall rated team, I want to say it's more likely that Alabama doesn't hit their line rather than the entire game not hitting their line, because that allows for Alabama to get humiliated, but also Michigan to go crazy on them. So Michigan can drop 100, hit their line, and then Alabama can miss and still hit the over-under total. So that's kind of what I'm contemplating right now. Alabama put up how many? I think they're in like top 5 all time on made threes. Texas Tech. They scored how many threes? 19. They shot up 42 more. Okay. They put up 42 threes. Do you know how many non-threes they put up? Only 26. They put up 26 non-threes in 42 threes in terms of attempts. They made 19 out of 42 threes. That is quite crazy. I don't think Michigan's going to allow that with the 2nd best defense in the country. A defensive standard that they have not versed all year. So, yeah. I think we're going to go with and I'm going to see if there's anybody that has a higher line, 82.5, 82.5, 81.5. We don't have team stuff for them. Okay. So now that we're here at this point of the show, let us recap. We did on Thursday's games, we have a money line and we have a team total. And for Friday's games, oh, that's right. Let's go back to our money lines. We're not doing any spread for Friday's games. We're doing a team total. So we have there's 4 bets there. So what happened was, in the middle of recording the show, UConn's money line went up to now make it a negative difference. Looks like Iowa State's did too. Let me do something here real quick. No. There. Oh, I don't know if you remember, or if I don't know if I mentioned this. We added this. People are asking, I see you added a way for us to pull up the entire odds comparison for the player props. Can you do that for the team tool as well? Just click on this area here that shows the odds. It'll show you. So we're not even looking at this game because the odds are crazy. But we can get Iowa State minus 180. Looks like the best UConn right now is minus 130. It was like, when we started recording the show, it was like minus 111. I don't think, that's weird. I feel like the change during the show is telling us don't touch it. But minus 130, I think this is a sign, kids. This is a sign for us not to touch it. At the beginning of the show, it was like minus 111 or something. And it updated during the show live. So then we're going to look at Iowa State with the minus 180 on Fanatics. So that means we now have 5. Hold on. Thursday, 1 money line, 1 team total. Friday, this would be the 1 money line and the 1 team total. So it looks like we have 2 for each. Yeah. This, people might bet more on Michigan State to win. It might take this implied chance down to make this green, but in sports betting, I take a lot of things as signs, and this to me is a sign. So 2 on each. We have a money line and a team total for Thursday, Friday, 4 total. And yeah, hopefully we can go like 3-1. Profitable 3-1 would be nice. We'll see what happens. But ladies and gents, that is our Sweet 16 special. Any questions whatsoever, You know where to go, where the humans are. The humans are in Discord. If you're a human and you're not in Discord, then you're not really trying. It's very easy to join something that's free. You just have to actually click on a button and do it. The only thing stopping you from being as successful as you're meant to be is you. All you have to do is click this Discord logo and you get into the Discord. That's as easy as that. In Discord, the first channel you're going to see is it says unlock. You go to the unlock channel, there's a button. There's a physical button you have to tap on your screen. You click that button, and what it does is it syncs your PlayerProps.ai account to your Discord account, and it puts up all the free access. And the free access is how you learn, okay, what are the guidelines? I see people printing thousands of dollars every single day in profit. How do I become them? Oh, this is what they're doing. These are the guidelines they're following. Perfect. Let me learn those guidelines. The only way you cannot have success here is by not following the guidelines, following all of the guidelines. If you want to be successful, you have to try to be successful. Get in the Discord, click the button in the unlock channel, unlock your accounts, join everybody else. Make sure you're asking questions. If you don't ask questions, we don't know you need help. Ask questions, get help, get feedback. And if you are already premium or if you're upgrading within the next 2 days, shoot me a DM on Discord. If you want to join the Player Props party in Orlando, Florida this Saturday, where the VIPs that want to make it or can make it, come down and we cover all the stuff. Have a good time. Anywho, good luck, everybody. We'll see you in Discord. Again, if you're not in Discord, you are not trying. The app works. The Discord works. The app is the car. The Discord is the keys. If you get the car and you don't take the keys, you're going to have little trouble driving the car. So if you want to be successful, look at the Discord, see the people that are successful, and just do what they're doing. How are they using the Discord? How are they using the app? Copy and paste. Easy as that. I look forward to tomorrow's show. Knock on wood. It's going to be an MLB one. Got a lot of sexy stuff coming out for MLB season. We'll see you guys in Discord, and good luck.